Hey YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger here. I'm going to be talking about some guitar pedal stuff here, specifically jfets and SMT daughter boards. So if you're like me, if I see a project uses jfets or j201s, I don't want to build it. I ran into a batch of bad jfets. They were counterfeit. I ran into another batch of jfets that the pinout was incorrect. And this led me to a lot of weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, thinking that they would never screw up and give me the wrong pinout. And then eventually, with some testing and applying my ear, I quickly came to the realization that, oh, the pinout is wrong. So the deal with the JFET is they don't make the J201 anymore. They do make the SMT, the tiny little version. I think, I'm not sure. All I know is you can get what they call J201 on eBay from China, and you can get like four of them for $1, or they're cheap. The thing about those is they're not J201s. The real authentic J201, what it is, it's a little transistor, and normally we pay 3 to 5 cents for a transistor, and these are really expensive. And the reason is, I think they don't make them anymore, but they also, on paper, the way that the specifications are, they behave very similar to how a vacuum tube behaves. So we all know how guitar players love their tube tone. So this is a way for you to compromise. If you can get these JFETs, if you're willing to pay through the nose for them, and then go through them and find some good ones, because they're kind of all over the place. So what I found, basically, like I said, my history with this was I was enthusiastic about it. I also bought some from a decent name supplier, and I got a wrong pinout. So this led me to say, I'm not doing it. I'm just not building anything. If I see a circuit and I get a hard on for it, if it's got JFETs, no, it's not for PD. So what made me change my mind? Well, reading about people who are raving about buying SMT versions of these JFETs and then buying the daughter board for it. So you get this tiny little rectangle. There's two prongs on one side and one prong in the middle on the other. And then you get a tiny little daughter board. And what I'm going to do is use this heat clip. This is a spring clip, and I'm going to, this latches, so I'm going to latch it on, line it up. First, what I will do is prepare the board by applying some paste flux, and then I'll put the JFET on there, use the heat clip to hold it. I'll probably have some dum-dum set up, or have something to hold this. So basically, I'll have it's a little tiny daughter board. It's got 3 solder pads that line up with the SMT JFET, and then there's 3 holes where you can connect wires or legs from capacitors that you've cut off or whatever, and you go ahead and use this daughter board. So what I read about it is that the TO92, which is the part number for the large package, the normal transistor size JFET, those are kind of all over the place, whereas the SMT ones are all good. It's not like you're going to be, one of them is different than the other. The SMT ones are consistent and they're affordable. So basically, today I ended up paying $1 a piece. I got 8 of them. I got 8 daughter boards. I'm going to have to solder those myself. And that was from Pedal PCB. He's got a thing where you can get them pre-soldered, but they were out of stock on those. So he's not the only game in town. You can take a look. If you type in j201 daughter board, SMT, SMD, however you like to call it, that there's two different ways. But it's a surface mount size part. And these little clips, these spring clips, use as a heat clip. This was recommended. I was in this forum called Fuzztopia, and out of the months I was there, and all of the people I tried to help, I typed out so much stuff helping people. I wasted so much time. I had a couple of people thank me, but I learned one thing when I was there, and that's about these type of clips. This is a really cool heat clip. And if you want to get yourself a pair of these, if you do soldering and sometimes you need to use a heat clip, you know, the aluminum ones that are 99 cents that they sell on eBay, the spring will go flying on them, and they eventually start bending, and they go crack mouth. The teeth don't line up anymore, like they smoke too much crack and their jaws going like that. If you ever saw somebody, my brother. Anyway, these are called they're called feather clip. Let me see here. Heat clip hackle pliers, feather clips, wrapping tools, hackle tools for fly fishing. Yeah. So that's the deal as far as these little clips. And wish me luck on this jfet adventure. I've got some coming in. The thing is that I like to use these Class D amp boards, and they're just like power amp. There's no front end. You need to build your own front end or use a pedal. And I'm thinking about trying out some of these Vero layouts that have been coming up on tagboard effects for preamps that are cloned out of, there's a Marshall 1992 Marshall Super Bass head. So that's got 2-channel gain and then volume, treble, mid-range, and bass. And that uses 4 of these jfets, these j201s. And I know, you can get 2 N5457s and they'll work. The thing is that the j201s are the ones that you want. They have that magical tone thing about it. And I had never gone after that daughter board thing just because it's another thing you got to order. It's another hassle, and I never really, like, I was always, when I would see a project that had JFETs, I'm like, I've been down that road. It's for suckers. Spending all that money and all that time, and then you find out the pinout's wrong, and you're banging your head off the wall. I built this thing. It had 7 or 8 of them in there, and it turned out the pinouts were wrong. And I spent so much time troubleshooting that. It was Dead Astronaut Spitfire was a pedal, and I was bugging him. And then later on, when I was building the Maestro sample and hold, I figured out real quick, yep, pinout was wrong. So whose fault that was? I mean, I swear that I used the data sheet from the person, whoever the supplier, and it was wrong. It was not correct. So and I've talked to other people that have been doing this for a long time, and their thing is the same thing I'm saying. So with the surface mount ones, it's real easy to see because of the design. It's not, I'm not going to be able to screw that up with these daughter boards. They're clearly labeled, and they're not all over the place as far as you order 10 of them and only one of them is good because your supplier cherry picked them. So yeah, look for some more new music on this channel. We got a new song Man, does this new sound cool. Compte's doing just a hell of a job on the bass. So I'm excited about playing again this year. I'm going to be doing a dry, wet, dry rig. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to pan out. Right now, I've just got a... well, that's another video. You can check out my dry, wet, dry rig. It's a Tom Scholz Rockman Guitar Ace being used as the front end for this Class D amp. And man, it really sounds fantastic. How is that going to meld with my other tones that I normally use? We'll have to see. I think it'll sound really good. Because honestly, for the dry one, I don't want a real lot of gain. I want the guitar's natural tone to come through more. And that's pretty much the deal when it comes to the sound I'm getting using this Guitar Ace. Alright, you guys. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds, and peace.